Hello, I am John Hollander from the University of Memphis. Thanks for your interest in this poster. I'll just be providing a very brief overview of the major sections. Our research team is primarily concerned with adult literacy, which remains a significant issue worldwide despite recent developments in educational technology. As you can imagine, the population of adult literacy learners is extremely diverse, so it's important to be able to account for and adapt to skill diversity in our educational systems. We seek to do so by integrating assessment and instruction. The assessment we're focusing on is called the RISE, a component reading skills battery developed at ETS. The instructional technology we use is called AutoTutor for adult reading comprehension, or AutoTutor ARC. Here's an example of an AutoTutor ARC item. It uses these conversational agents to guide learners through 30 different lessons that are designed to improve literacy and reading comprehension skills in adult populations. We had about 250 people who are currently enrolled in adult literacy programs take the RISE assessment, then use AutoTutor ARC in an instructional program. For this poster, we'll be focusing on how the pretest can integrate with AutoTutor data. First, we conducted a clustering analysis on AutoTutor data. We found 4 major clusters that were generally characterized by differences in their accuracy and speed. We won't focus much on this information for now, but it's interesting that we can observe these patterns of behavior because they might guide a more individualized system later. Next, we developed a typology of items that can help us acquire assessment information during instructional task performance. First, we identified AutoTutor items that yielded over 95% accuracy as motivational, meaning that they're too easy for everyone to really give us meaningful information. Next, we calculated the correlation between performance on an item with overall scores in that AutoTutor lesson. If this correlation is less than 0, we identified that as a potentially flawed item, meaning that it probably doesn't tap into the same skills that the rest of the lesson does. You can see those 2 thresholds in an example here. Next, we pooled AutoTutor items with RISE assessment items where the lessons and subtests theoretically aligned, like in the word parts AutoTutor lesson and the morphology RISE subtest. We calculated item total correlations in those pools and identified AutoTutor items with correlations higher than 0.15 to be evaluative items because they may be used to assess the specific skills in learners. In this table, you can see the base reliability of some of the RISE subtests and then observe how including evaluative items from AutoTutor increases their reliability. The numbers in parentheses are the proportions of evaluative items within that AutoTutor lesson that matched each subtest. Finally, the remaining items were labeled as instructive items because they don't provide assessment information, but they may contribute to learning gains, so this is something that we want to define and test better in future research. To conclude, this poster shows what we think is a proof of concept of one method of integrating assessment and instruction. If you have any questions, I'd love to chat in the virtual poster session, or please feel free to email me at this address. Thanks again.